Hello, 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 and welcome to the Kathie J Show, everybody. I am Kathie J, and thank you so much for hanging out with us this half hour. I tell you all the time, I love being with you for a whole half hour. It means the world to me, so thank you very much. Also, you know, keep the conversation going. That's what the show's all about. So after we're off the air, please just go to our social media, and you can go to KathieJShow.com to get all the handles and to see any shows that you might have missed. So thank you guys, I love you. So today we're going to talk about the importance of amplifying Black voices, and not just in February. Yes, February is Black History Month, but my guest today is right when she says it's time to change the narrative. My guest has been on the couch before. I adore her. She's adorable. And she continues to change the narrative, and that's why I love her. She's also an author, certified speaker, and co-host of Brother Jeff's Free Think Zone. Everybody, please say hello to Shay J.
What's up?
I love
hey,
you.
I love you. Thank you for having me again.
I'm excited to have you.
I love it here.
You were here right when the show first started, so thank you for coming on. For all of you that don't know, like I just have seen this girl since she was a little baby, and I've just watched her grow up, and I'm so proud of her. So I gotta give a shout out to your family.
Thank you, family. But thank you for your mentorship along the way. It's been phenomenal, and even with your little situation here.
My boot.
We're doing great. Shout out to my family. They keep me moving, grooving. Support is
They do.
Excellent.
There's your mama in the red. Hello,
yes, she
adorable.
is. Hey, Ma.
I met Shay J when she was little because I used to work with her mom, Adorable. We used to run the phones together for a phone company.
And y'all still be on the phones just talking. See what it got you?
Your mom, I was like, you are way too good to be here. You need to get out of this business as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she felt the same way about you.
And it's
so
true.
to see both of you where you're at now, I'm like, okay, ladies.
We made it.
We made
Positive female role models.
There we go.
Yes.
How important is that, right?
It is so important.
I love that.
And I am proud to be your mentor over the years.
Yes, you have.
But you've kind of outdone me. You have some new titles. Since I last saw you, you've added new titles. Tell everybody what your titles are.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Since you last saw me, I have now added the title of the chair of communications at the Denver NAACP. I'm passionate about that work. It's a beautiful thing to be able to show up where you know your people need your presence.
Yes.
And NAACP, since I was a little girl, I've always looked up to the organization.
Yeah.
So shout out to the president, Sandra Young, who really got me involved and said, like, it's time to make a difference in this space.
Yeah,
because
she kept watching you. You'd be showing up to all the rallies. You'd
Yeah.
start speaking, grabbing the mic. You also have another title. You got a YouTube channel.
Oh my gosh, and who would have known? Because, you know, we've done this radio thing, so I didn't know YouTube would be my next space, but I am now the founder of CTN Media, and it's all about changing the narrative, cultivating the narrative, creating the narrative, controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
That's the next space for us.
Yeah, and so speaking of the narrative, so it is Black History Month.
Yeah.
So do you celebrate? How do you celebrate? I know every day is Black History. I got that.
Yeah. That's a great question, you know, because I'm Black all year long.
Yes, you
It's
are.
crazy how that works out. No, I definitely I think it's super important to highlight this moment, right?
Right.
Black History Month is beautiful because people that normally don't celebrate, they do in that moment.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
But I also feel like we have to make sure that we know our history is all year long.
Yes.
And let's not just focus on the same 3 things during Black History Month, but let's expand that conversation.
Yes, and that's
what that looks like.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. Because you're right, in the past, Black history, but so important. Like when I read To Kill a Mockingbird in 7th grade for Black History Month, it changed my life.
There we go.
Like that, you know, so it is important to get some of that to go, oh, I get that.
Absolutely.
And to hear the story of Ruby Bridges and stuff, but there's so much more about the Black community and what they're doing for the future. It's like your guys are catching on to things that you should have owned and how to make sure that you own it for the future. That kind of stuff. That conversation's
happening right now.
So after the break, everybody, we're going to get into that conversation. It's about Black spending power as well as some alarming stats in the Black community. We'll be right back. Kathie J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So today we are speaking with my girl Shay J. I adore her. I love you. I love your family. Couldn't be more proud of what you're doing in this world, making big changes. Today, everybody, we are going to change the narrative about Black History Month. We're going to change it for the future as well, because some new facts just came out that Shay J sent me, and it's about Black spending power. So the Black spending power is up 1.6%, but the Black net worth is down 14%. Okay, so please explain to everybody what that is and how it affects your community.
how does it affect my community?
Yeah.
When you see right now, for any of you out there that are Black and you're saying, I didn't know how much we were making an impact.
Yeah.
Our spending power is high. So that means consumers are making sure things look and feel like you so that you actually show up and spend. But the fact that we're down in our real net worth, what does that mean for generational wealth?
Yes.
What does that mean on what side we're at? That means we're on the consumer side and we're not on the ownership side.
Right.
So now that's presenting a problem with how do I see our future expanding when I'm looking at my kids, where do they stand in this wealth gap?
No, I totally get that. And the generational gap, the generational wealth, it is extremely hard, especially for the African American community, because one of the best ways for it to create wealth in America was to own a home. And then you would pass that along. And for a long time, the Black community was being ousted or for whatever excuse didn't get the homes.
Right.
And
You
so
had
right there,
all
you
the
have
things that
you have
go with
no
that.
reason then nothing to pass on to your kids.
Right.
When you talk about the Black spending power,
Yeah.
that is the fact that so much what the Black community does is what's trending to the rest of us. Is that what you're talking about?
It's absolutely true. Our culture is love, right? Not so much us, but our culture is
Yes,
love.
yes.
So when you find places, and I think the real issue I started to have is I look at the Black spending power being up, but I also look at racial profiling at these high-end stores not being down.
Yes.
Actually being at the all-time high. You're even seeing celebrities now come out and speak about, I showed up and I was racially profiled all the way through the store and I knew I was going to spend over 20 racks.
And you're exactly right. And here's the thing, I think so much the hip hop community made so many of those luxury brands so cool and famous. They put them in the songs, they started wearing them. All of a sudden, like you saw Diddy in a full Gucci suit, you were like, I didn't even know they made sweatsuits.
Maybe I
like
need
that.
a Gucci sweatsuit now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
We
you
make things
can't even
cool.
afford a Gucci scarf. Why are you going and putting yourself in debt for a Gucci sweatsuit? So you're saying it's a whole vicious cycle of what they are trying to say you need to attain.
Yeah.
But you can't get there.
And you can't get there. And the thing is, so now what we value in our money and how we spend our money is showing up. Our values are showing up,
Like
right?
what? Yeah.
And I think that we're starting to see now, and I always tell people all the time, I would hate for you can't pass down chains and Jordans, right?
Right.
So we have to get into a space where we're passing down business and we're passing down great financial etiquette. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, because normally, even in the white world and the Black world, after generation about 2 or 3, you're starting to lose that money.
Oh yeah, somebody is being bad with the money.
Somebody's being bad with the money. So you have to pass down the knowledge about how do we actually use this to build, to have a foundation, to make sure we're expanding. And so I really challenge my community to say, where do you value your money and where are you spending your money? What does that look like for you? And that says a lot about where we're gonna go as a community, what our trajectory is together.
Yes.
We have to value our coin more.
And you know, it is so true, because even with my girls, like I'm always like, you don't need this fancy outfit, or you don't need those fancy shoes. Like, I'd much rather know that you had money in your college account. Like, and so that's what you're saying is change the mindset altogether.
I have
totally
a friend
agree.
right now who's actually doing that for her daughter's birthday. Instead of allowing people to bring toys and all the fun things, she's like, no, here's her bank account. Let's put money towards her college tuition.
Yeah,
She said, because I know we can get all these other things, but let's put money here
for the
so we
future.
make sure we're building a great future for our babies.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Genius.
That's good. Okay, so we got to take a break, Shay J.
Okay.
You know the breaks go fast,
They
man.
do.
All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk about the Black future. We'll be right back.
Kathie J.
The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on.
Kathie J.
Hello, and welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So today we're having a great conversation and speaking with Shay J. Shay J is an author and the communication chair of the Denver NAACP chapter. Whoop, whoop. Shay J, so you were just talking about Black spending power.
Yes.
And like, it's crazy because it's about also how we live, and that's really what you think the future of the Black community needs is a change in how we're talking with the narrative, how your narrative is, your future. Okay,
Absolutely.
You're doing that on your new podcast.
I am.
Okay, yay podcast. Okay,
Yay, podcast. I can't believe I'm in this space. It's a hard space to go into when you come from radio background, when you come from, the television side, to go into a podcast, you're going into this foreign space.
Yeah.
But I realize how, it's at everybody's fingertips. fingertips.
Yes.
So if we want to make sure that we're showing up for the people that might need us, we had to get out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
And so I'm in a new space now because I feel like people need to hear this. And they need to have this space.
They do.
And I think my community has to be reactive in so many spaces. Black joy is not a regular thing, right? We don't get to talk about like just Black happiness and Black joy and manifesting and affirming and like where we're going and our vision and what we see. And so I want to be a pillar in that conversation.
Yes,
and
I
making
agree.
sure I'm opening it up to my community.
Okay, yeah. So in addition to hearing her talk about all those kind of different topics on the podcast, she also, when I say author, everybody, she wrote the 12 affirmations to shift your life in a year, and Black Girls Manifest too.
Yes.
So
I'm
do you think
excited.
the narrative for so long was just things are going to be hard on you being Black and just try to make it through? And you're like
Absolutely.
saying, no, I can manifest whatever I want.
Whatever I want. And I think for so long, it's been like this taboo thing on one end. The other end, it's been like, it's not for you.
Yeah.
You know, so I remember when I first started dabbling into yoga and manifesting and doing all these things, everybody was like, that's not for Black people.
Yes,
And so
you're
I
right.
feel like if Black people see me doing it,
Then-
what's Blacker than that?
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. And they see you
Right.
getting the benefits of it.
The benefits
of being
of it.
grounded, of finding silence in your brain. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to be, not only just talk about it, but live it. And I've been living it.
You have
and so
been
I've
living it.
watched my vision manifest. I've watched things that I said, this is what I want. When I really started believing, I watched it show up.
Yeah.
So why not share that with my community? And why not let them know, like, we manifest too, and it works.
And it works,
And it
right.
works.
And we're really good at it.
Yeah,
yes.
we're really good at it.
She always says the best project you're going to work on is yourself, everybody. So
Yeah.
where can people get the book?
You can get this book right now at IamShayJ.com. Go ahead, go on my website, grab the book. And what I love is that there's going to be new volumes coming out
Yes.
for everybody. There's something for everybody.
Right.
So you have to now get on there and be a part of the journey.
Yes, and so there's journaling. There's a lot of journaling,
Yes.
thinking about things, attracting opportunities with the right people, which this woman is amazing at.
That's my thing.
Yes, she's got it, everybody. Okay, now mental health. You want it to be sexy now. Like, let's say it's sexy. It's
I
not
like
something
that
that's
word.
bad,
It's
right?
sexy. It has to be sexy for everybody to join in, right?
Right? Like, it has to be something cool.
It has to be because it
I hate to
is.
say that.
I know, it's
Right.
really sad, and I'm really proud of the leaders right now in the Black community that are really starting to make it cool and showing up. Shout out to my boy DJ K-Tone.
Yes.
Who I know he'll be on the Kathie J soon.
In 2 days.
In
He'll
2
be
days.
here on
He'll be here in
Thursday.
2 days.
Yes,
yeah.
I can't wait.
I
Yes.
can't wait either, and that's one thing is like the men have to make it sexy in the women. So us in leadership positions, we got to talk about the mental health journey. We got to
Yeah.
talk about the healing. We got to talk about not just putting a Band-Aid on it, but actually going and treating the real wound.
Yeah.
And then healing from that space and moving forward.
And you know what? There's a lot of real wounds. I mean, and the
Yeah.
wounds go deep. You guys go generational with your wounds of knowing that, you know, my dad was screwed by this company or my grandfather didn't get this that he was owed. You know, like so much that you have to work through. You know, I mean, I got a lot to work through.
Yeah,
And
everybody has a lot
right,
to
we all
work
got a
through,
lot to
right?
work through. Yes. But you know what I love about the fact is how you say it needs to be sexy. We need to think about it differently. And there is a shirt out there that our therapist of color, Rosina, was on.
Okay.
And it's therapy is dope. And it's got,
Therapy
you
is
know,
so
and so that's
dope.
what we're always trying to say.
Please
Therapy
and
is
thank
dope.
you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm telling you, heal people. So if you're healed, you're gonna attract more healed people, hopefully, or you're gonna be around people and you're gonna start to require that, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna create healthy boundaries.
Yes.
And that means you get to live the lifestyle that you want. I think one of my biggest transitions in mindset was really taking ownership of where I was at was all my fault. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Where I was at was
all
entirely
my
my
fault, right.
Period.
Yes.
So when you know you own that type of power, what will you do with it? How will you move forward?
After you cry in the bathroom.
After you cry, I'm like, that's your fault.
This is all my
It's
fault.
all my fault.
But you gotta stand
But
up.
you have to. You have to stand up. You have to take ownership of it. You have to look in the mirror and have those hard conversations with yourself because they are hard.
They are hard.
Let's be real. It's hard to
Yeah.
really work on you
This wasn't-
authentically. It's hard for anyone.
Yeah.
And so I'm really challenging people to take this year and let 2022 be the year of you.
It is.
And really seek in and do the work.
And do the work.
Do
and
the
you,
work.
And you know what? I also wanted to talk to you real fast about Black suicide.
Yeah.
It's very heartbreaking, the statistics right now, especially
Whew.
COVID. It didn't help the
Didn't.
Black community at all. What do you want to say about just those hard conversations about suicide?
I think we have to do me a favor and check on your strong friends. Let's start there.
Okay.
Check on your strong friends. I think so many times they get left out of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
You might know the people that you think are, they're not
Teetering.
doing as well. They're teetering.
Yeah.
So you check on them a lot and they're just living life.
Yes.
But it's those strong friends that are high profile, that their parents are high profile, that their job is high profile.
Really?
Check on them.
Because of the stress that
Because
they're
of the-
not showing, that they're under.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe they have a lot of people that they take care of, right? You're taking care of your whole family. You're trying to create generational wealth. You're trying to change the narrative. You're doing these things.
Yes.
You got to check on your strong friends and you got to show up. And we have to get used to saying, how are you, and really listening for a real response. And we have to get used to not just saying fine
No,
and
you're
really
right.
giving a real response. you
Okay,
know?
so to my girlfriend Brooke, I'm so sorry. Like, she does reach out sometimes. She'll be like, I'm drowning right now. And Brooke, we're going out. I'm taking you
I
out.
love you,
Or,
see?
or the girls are coming to stay the night so
Either
you can have a
or.
break. Yeah,
Yes.
totally. You can
it's
help.
real. You can help your friends, and it's sometimes just checking in.
I never think about the stronger ones, but you're right. I was always so strong, and all of a sudden I just broke.
Yeah.
And then there was,
That's what
yeah,
happens.
you're
Because
exact-
everybody's like, oh, no, you get
I'm
through
holding
it. You're
it,
good.
I'm holding it,
You're
yes.
holding up. You're the life of the party. Those are the people you need to take some time and check in on.
Okay, so you know how Shay J, thank you, beautiful.
Yes.
So you know how Shay J was just saying that, like you got to work on yourself in 2022? Coming up, she's going to tell us the number one thing that you need to do to start that shift. We'll be right back.
Let's do it.
Kathie J.
Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better.
Kathie J.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. Kathie J Show. Did you hear that?
That was great. Yeah.
All right. Today we've been hanging out, having a conversation with Shay J.
That's why. Kathie J, Shay J. It's a lot.
Okay, I was her mentor growing up, so
You
when
was.
she took
Get
Shay
it?
J, I was like,
You feel it? You felt the love, right?
She felt the love.
You felt the love. It's beautiful.
So she's also an author, everybody. The 12 Affirmations to Shift Your Life in 1 Year and Black Girls Manifest 2. She's also the founder of the CTM Media. It's a YouTube channel, as well as communication chair of the Denver NAACP chapter. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Thank
proud of
you.
you. So, okay, so you say the number one thing you need to do in 2022. What's the first thing you got to do?
It is believe that you're worthy.
Believe you're worthy.
Believe
It's so
you're worthy.
simple.
It's so simple and yet so hard, right? Because worthy can be in a different space for you versus me.
Yeah.
So it's worthy of that new experience, worthy of that new job, worthy of freedom, worthy of your own value system, whatever that is for you.
Yes.
Self-worth has to be at the forefront.
Yeah.
And so I think once you believe you're worthy and then you put your real purpose in the front and you align with that, everything starts to match up.
It really does. I hate to say it, but all of a sudden when you hear people saying the universe just kept pushing me, it's because everything kept lining up and you were doing the work to do. And so when you hear that little voice in your head is when I always go, I think that's telling me what I should do.
I think so.
And when I followed it, it works.
Look at this is how the Kathie J
This is
show
how the
became.
Kathie J Show, right.
Real talk.
Yeah.
And I think once we really, no, I don't think I know. Once we really get in a space where we say, I deserve everything I desire, everything I want.
Right.
And I'm allowed to even want more. Once
Yeah.
you get there,
Yes.
the universe will conspire with you to line it all up.
I'm telling you, Marie. So the things that you deserve, the things you desire, you're enough to have it. And like she was saying, you got to get in alignment with the purpose. And I know it sounds really weird, and you're like, what in the world are they talking about? But you know when something feels good. You know when your gut is saying, this is right. I lean into that a little more. And you know what? It is about boundaries. It's with me, boundaries with family members that you have to let go
that,
of, friends that you might say don't serve you
Man,
anymore.
it gets uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And the things you're saying are not always easy. And so I think that you said some key things of like really creating boundaries.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the affirmations, and I say the first chapter of my book, is simply saying, I am enough. And when you start to say, I am enough, and you say it over and over again, your boundaries shift.
Yeah.
The things you allow shifts. Because now you're in a space of, I'm creating the lifestyle, I'm creating the life that I really want and deserve, and I'm enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And that closest friend from 6th grade might be pushed out your life.
You're
you
right.
know, like that
Right.
family member you might not talk to as much.
Yeah, no,
Like,
totally.
It's real talk.
Exactly. There were people that I was like, I don't want to spend my money anymore. I got to be saving my money. And they didn't understand that.
No.
And, you know, like, we can't spend it when you're dead. I'm like, well, I need to have it.
I need some of
in
it,
20
right.
years. So it's all about values. You
Yeah.
know, and so values have become, like, they've skewed our relationships, you're saying.
Yeah, they have.
What do you mean?
Now, so when we don't have a value system in place,
Yeah.
we start to do any and everything.
Yeah.
So now you're not even sure what you're attracted to or why you like what you like, because there's somebody else's values. They're not yours.
No.
And so I know if I'm watching, TV every day and it's showing me like you need this and you need that to feel happy and you need that, I might not do any of the real self-work. So when I start to get these things and I'm not happy, I'm like, well, what happened?
Right.
What do you mean?
It didn't work.
I bought the big house. I got the cool car. I did all these things and I'm not happy. Well, maybe that's not where your values are.
It's got to start inside.
It has to start inside. Do the inside work first. Please.
Adorable. Your daughter is so good. I'm so proud of you, everybody.
Thank you.
Shay J, thank you for hanging out with us this half hour. I want it to be an hour.
I know.
I'm manifesting.
It's coming. Manifest that.
Everybody, please continue the conversation about Black future, everybody.
Please.
And please, if you want to buy the book and follow her podcast, just go to Shay at IamShayJ.com, everybody.
Yes.
And you know what? Trust the journey. That's the big one, right?
Yeah, trust the journey. Show up for it and trust it.
Trust the journey,
But show up, please.
But please show up, exactly.
Show up.
You're worthy of success. You're worthy of having great relationships. You are enough. And you're enough.
Yeah.
And I hope you come back on the couch whenever you want.
I love it. This is my favorite little place to be now.
You are. And
so I'm going to manifest coming back more.
Okay, deal. And I can't wait to see you do more with the NAACP Denver chapter.
Yes.
You're such a good addition to that.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do, girl.
Love you.
Have a good one.